chilly and windy Liberty Park is the site of this final week of SFL action. We've got the visiting Chicago Wildcats coming in to play the host Sioux Falls Sparrows. My name is Eric Vinson. Welcome inside the broadcast booth alongside the great owner of the Mexico City Aztecs, Ramos Lynn. Ramos, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Eric. Thank you very much for having me with you on the call. You know, Sioux Falls, this is a team that can still get a better seed in the playoffs if they can beat the Chicago Wildcats and if they can get a comfortable win. Because if they win by 10 points or more, they surpass Tulsa in the standings. So it's going to be very interesting to see this offense, Julian and Tyree, because they will not stop scoring points if they have the opportunity.
We'll see if the Chicago Wildcats can play spoiler a little bit here and keep the Sparrows from advancing a little bit higher on that playoff ladder. You'll see the Sparrows in those highlighter yellow uniforms and the Wildcats in their white on whites. And we are getting things lined up. The hometown Sparrows are going to be receiving the ball. And I'm definitely ready for this one. Ramos, you ready?
I am ready.
There we go. Fielded at about the 5-yard line. Sioux Falls bringing it upfield. A.J. Warren brings it up to about the 26-yard line, and that is where Julian Tyree will come out and command this offense. He's going to have Robert Redford in the backfield with him. I mentioned A.J. Warren, one of the receivers. We have Michael Moore, number 88, and Sean Harrelson, the former Carolina Skyhawk, in there, number 11. First and 10 from the 26. Tyree is going to pass, zings it over to Redford, has a couple blockers in front of him, but gets mauled 2 or 3 yards downfield. That was a heck of a hit there, Ramos.
Yeah, I mean, this Chicago Wildcats defense, that's something that they can do very well, is deliver the lumber. They have great linebackers. They have a Jean-Mois Folabi. They have Clint Henderson, and those are one of the best in the business. This defense of Chicago, especially stopping the pass, one of the best in the SFL, if not the best.
Afolabi was in there on that vicious hit on Redford. Blake Hamrack, Kanye Rockefeller, the two corners, also two of the best in the business. As A.J. Warren sneaks a completion in on them. Makes it out to the 34-yard line. It'll be third and short coming up.
Yeah, this makes it a manageable third down. You know, this is situations where Robert Redford can even get a carry and probably get a first down here.
We'll see if that's what they want to do here. Good formation to come out in for Sioux Falls because they can run or pass, which means they're going to pass here. Tyree zings it over to Redford. Redford with plenty of blockers downfield, plenty of room out to the 44-yard line of Chicago, already in opponent's territory.
And let's see if we can get a replay here because Chuck Allen, number 73, the center, I think it was, on the outside. We will not get a replay, but he goes to the outside and picks up a perfect block. That's the reason why Robert Redford was able to get like 20 yards on that play.
Tyree comes out in a pro sets, 3 wideouts. 4 down linemen for the Wildcats on defense. Tyree's going to throw. He's got a deep man on the left-hand side, incomplete. I believe he was looking for Michael Moore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and perfect coverage by the former #1 overall pick in an SFL draft, Kanye Rockefeller. He's been here for a minute, and one of the veteran presences on this Chicago Wildcats defense. Obviously, you have Maurice Spurgeon, you have Afolabi. You know, this is a veteran defense, very smart, and play very, very well.
That incompletion, 2nd and 10. Tyree to pass. Deep man, this time wide open. He's going to waltz in the end zone, untouched. Touchdown, Sioux Falls.
You know, that's what I was saying. You know, if the Sioux Falls Sparrows can win this game by 10 or more points, they are going to beat Tulsa in the standings, and they know they have to score. And that one, wide open, Julian Tyree, probably the hottest quarterback in the SFL right now, delivers a perfect strike. That's a perfect spiral over the top of the defense. Blake Hamrack not in position. Great speed by Sean Harrelson. He gets in the paint.
Harrelson flashing the dirty bird dance as he gets into the end zone. Applies to both the Sparrows and the Skyhawks, so works well for both of his teams.
Yeah.
Sparrows lining up for the extra point. Quick scoring drive, not even 2 minutes off the clock. And they are going to take a 7-0 lead here as we get everything switched around, and Sioux Falls will go ahead and kick off to the Wildcats for their first possession of the first quarter.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really love these uniforms by the Sioux Falls Sparrows.
Aren't they awesome?
Yeah, they're really, really good. I think the yellow with the black and the helmet yellow with black, I think it sits perfectly.
Digging the white on whites with Chicago as well, as they will bring it out to the 29-yard line. Davis Reed is the return man. He's one of the wide receivers for this Chicago offense. Coming in, only winning 3 games, but plenty of firepower on this offense. As you get a look at E.T. King, who's going to be at the helm of this offense. J. Calvin Kim, the former member of the Pride, in the backfield. Kendall Gilbert, Alex Zeli, and the tight end, Shan Varner, all on offense for E.T. King to play with, as he will pass on 1st and 10. Check down to Kim, who throws a stiff arm, only gets about a couple. They'll mark it at the 33, gain of 4.
And it's really hard to go against this Sioux Falls defense because they have a lot of speed, especially on the linebackers. They have 3 linebackers. Alex Parker, number 91, Nick Fargo, number 92, and Levant Irvine, number 99. So, those guys are pretty much all the time on the field, and they go sideline to sideline.
Coming out in an empty set early as King wants to throw. Has a man to the left-hand side. That's Gilbert. They're going to mark him just shy of the first down, but it'll be 3rd and short upcoming here.
Yeah, 3rd and manageable, 3rd and inches. This the opportunity for them to probably just hand the ball off to Jay Calvin Kim up the gut. I think he will be able to get that half a yard.
Adam McCoy, Nick Pop, Chris Dodd, who is in there on the stop, and A.J. Levy round up the secondary here for the Sparrows. Jay Calvin Kim has plenty of room on the outside. Good pursuit on defense by A.J. Levy, but it'll still be a 1st down for the Wildcats.
Great play call by Chicago. I think that the Sioux Falls Sparrows went with a little bit of a blitz, so they were able to throw the ball to the outside. Jay Calvin Kim had a lot of room to run, and enough for that 1st down. So really important 1st down for the Wildcats here.
Definitely a more methodical drive than their counterparts. On their first drive, handoff to Kim, and the blockers just weren't developing on that play. Levant Irvine gets in there for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, and that play was made by the defensive line because, number 96 on that one crashes the blockers, basically, just makes a huge pileup on the backfield, and the offensive lineman number 65 was unable to go to the outside and pick up the block on the linebacker. So that was all the defensive linemen just destroying the play before it even developed.
B.J. Smith, the non-contract defensive end, was the guy wrecking shop down there on front line. As Calvin Kim gets another handoff here. This time he'll get a couple out to the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long upcoming for the Wildcats.
And I think Jay Calvin Kim had a little bit of room to run on the left. He tried to go to the inside. I think if he goes to the left, he probably gets about 5-8 yards on the play.
It's good positioning by the blocker on the outside there. Probably could have busted it for a few more yards. As E.T. King's in the empty here, looking downfield instead, checks it over the middle. Short gain, it won't be enough for a 1st down. As Dodd gets in there on the tackle. 4th and 5 upcoming. Chicago's got a punt.
And nothing was open down the field because, you have A.J. Levy, you have Adam Okoye, Nick Pop on that secondary. So everybody went deep to cover the wide receivers. So that was the only thing open. Not a bad throw because that's what the defense was giving them. That's better than throwing an interception. But great job by Sioux Falls on making the tackle before the 1st down mark.
A.J. Warren getting in there, getting stopped just short of the 20-yard line. And actually, I take that back. I think that was Michael Moore in there on the punt return. And they're going to start at the 19-yard line. What do you expect to see on this second possession here for Sioux Falls, Ramos?
I think it's a little bit more of the same because that is Sioux Falls bread and butter. You know, it's throwing the ball deep. That's what they do. They throw the ball, you know, those post routes, corner routes, cross routes. You know, it's Julian Tyree just gunslinging the ball all over the place.
And they'll get a free play to start things off. Maybe Tyree will throw it downfield. Doesn't have enough time, though. He gets sacked in the backfield. But that's not going to stand as one of the defenders jumped offsides into the neutral zone. So a free 5 yards, and that's not what you're looking for on the Wildcats defense.
Yeah, it's that play doesn't count, but nothing will take away that hit that Julian Tyree just received. But, you know, guys like Brett Favre always say, you know, the best way I can get going is, you know, with a first hit. Then, you know, all the nervousness goes away.
Redford able to snag it with one hand, sneaks across the first down marker. It'll be 1st and 10 after a gain of 6 off a lobby, giving Redford a little shove after the play.
Yeah. You know, division rivals, these teams do not like each other, it seems. And, you know, Chicago obviously playing for pride. They want to go out this season on a high note, playing a little bit spoiler. So, you know, Chicago has a lot of play here.
Taking down towards 5 minutes, Julian Tyree going to throw once again, this time caught over on the left-hand side. Michael Moore with his first catch of the ball game, gain 5. And it'll be 2nd and short coming up, 5:04 left in the first.
You know, this is just such a tough team to stop, Sioux Falls Sparrows, because even though they don't have like a million superstars on the offense, the stars that they have just, you know, the receivers get open, the running back, as we see here, Robert Redford.
Yep, he's going to get, oh man, but he gets absolutely destroyed. Ajamu Afalabi in there with a huge hit, and he appears to have Robert Redford's number to start things off here.
Yeah, Afalabi is just a big guy, you know, 6'5", 250 pounds. You know, he's like a defensive end playing linebacker. And, you know, he has the speed of a linebacker. So, you know, it's a big dude running at you, sideline to sideline, one of the best in the business.
Built like a freight train. Julian Tyree is going to throw deep over the middle this time. That's caught for a huge chunk of yards. And I believe that's Michael Moore with another catch, as it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 44.
Yeah, just a laser by Julian Tyree. Perfect protection, and he has that lane on the left-hand side to look at his receiver and deliver a perfect ball. That is a phenomenal pass, great catch, and a perfect play call.
The former Pride member, A.J. Barnes, coming up on the play, left a little bit of a hole over the middle of the field. And Tyree was able to find his man. As he finds another one here, A.J. Warren, and he gets a 1st down over towards the right sideline. Sioux Falls moving with ease so far.
Yeah, I mean, deep passes, short passes, running the ball, screens. I mean, this Sioux Falls offense, you know, as I said, you know, when you have a great QB like Julian Tyree, you can do all of those things. You go here on an empty set, so passing situation, let's see what they do.
Number 33 getting close to field goal range. Tyree has time. He's going to check it down to Redford. And it's going to be an incomplete pass. The hit kind of jarred the ball loose a bit there.
Yeah, you don't usually see the running backs line up as a receiver. You know, normally when they catch passes, it's out of the backfield. And this one, that's a very good route by Redford, but unable to make the catch. You know, that was probably a 4 or 5 yard gain that he couldn't make.
And again, Afalabi on him like white on rice. 2nd and 10 upcoming from the 33. Tyree short drop over the middle of the field. Got a man past the 1st down and into the red zone. That's A.J. Warren. 1st and 10 upcoming.
And that is just a beautiful throw again by Julian Tyree. Timing route. And, you know, that's the sign of a great veteran quarterback. He puts that in between 2 different defenders. And, you know, Warren has the guts to just make the catch in between the coverage.
Reese Spurgeon saw it a little bit too late there. You could tell he was coming up to make the play, maybe a hard hit, but couldn't quite get there in time as Warren was able to secure the catch and the first down. 1st and 10 now. Play action. Tyree trying to get away. He gets sacked in the backfield. Loss of 7 yards. That's a huge loss on 1st down.
Yeah, Chris Sinariski on that one. And, you know, not bad protection. I think that Julian Tyree just ran into that sack. Probably if he just steps up in the pocket, he would have probably 1 more second to throw the ball. Instead, he goes into the defender, and it's a very, you know, much needed play by the Wildcats here.
Probably got a little happy feet in the backfield as he felt the pocket closing around him. Throws an ill-advised pass, and it's picked off by Hamrack. He had plenty of blockers down the sideline, but he'll get wrapped up at about the 26. Chicago going to get the ball back. Great turnover on defense.
You know, and that's what happens when you have 2nd and longs. You know, you throw the ball, you feel the need to chuck it deep, and it's when this opportunistic defense with Hamrack and all those veteran defensive backs can, you know, put some hands on it.
Looked like he might have had a step towards the back of the end zone, he being A.J. Warren. He had gotten the defense beat on that play, but I think the hits caused the ball to kind of lose its spin, lose its trajectory, and fell right into Hamrack's lap. Ends up being a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats as King is going to throw, and it's going to be tipped and incomplete. Good coverage on the play by the Sparrows.
And you don't often see a non-contracted defensive back able to stop the out route just like Zeno Zika just did on that one. You know, he just puts the hands up and makes a great deflection. That was an easy pitch and catch, or it was supposed to be an easy pitch and catch for maybe a 10-yard gain. A great deflection by Ozika.
2nd and 10 now. J. Calvin Kim getting a handoff, but he gets wrapped up in the backfield. Loss of about 2. The 3rd and long upcoming.
And another non-contracted player, this time Marcellus Morton, just makes the big-time tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And we have the same situation, you know, 3rd and long, E.T. King forced to throw the ball probably deep. This opportunistic defense, A.J. Levy, Chris Dahl, let's see if they can return the favor.
Quarter coming to a close. E.T. King forced to throw in this situation. Deep ball down the middle of the field, and again, like you said, Sioux Falls looking for it. They were aware, just couldn't quite create the turnover. And it'll be 4th down once again for Chicago.
But great stop by the Sioux Falls defense on that one. You know, when you throw an interception, the one thing you wanted your defense to do is just 3 and out. Just put the confidence back on your offense that, you know, it's okay. It did not matter. Just go back onto the field and let's score some more points.
So Chicago will punt once again. Fielded at about the 32, and he gets absolutely destroyed by the special teams coverage. What a hit out there by Chicago. Sioux Falls going to get the ball back here. And we'll see what they want to do. Up 7 with 1:25 left to go in quarter number 1.
Nickel defense here against 2 tight ends.
1st and 10 from the 39. Tyree to throw. Screen over to Redford. Throws a vicious stiff arm, and then another one on Hamrack for a huge chunk of yards. All the way out to the 34 of Chicago. What a play by the Sparrows running back.
Man, I don't want to be a homer, but he looked like Ray Bentley on that one. Just stiff arms a guy. Man, that's Blake Hamrack who puts on his back. That's not a scrub. That's Blake Hamrack, who already has an interception today. The offensive line does not pick up any blocks, but, you know, as Steven said, you know, BYOB, be your own blocker, and just putting people aside is just incredible. Great run by Robert Redford.
Absolutely. Throwing the shoulder puts Hamrack on his back, like you said, and he's going to get another carry, this time not as successful as the first. Afolabi gets in there for another tackle. He's already got 4 tackles, 1 for a loss.
Yeah, that's what he does. You know, Jamo Afolabi, former Sparrow, actually. He played for the Sioux Falls Sparrows and played for the Mexico City Aztecs, and, you know, he was the leader of those clubs as far as tackle goes, and especially with us here in Mexico City. Great linebacker, just a big dude, block shedding, one of the best.
So the 2nd and 10, Tyree. Same screen pass over to Redford this time. Defense was ready for it as Spurgeon comes up and lays a good hit on him.
Yeah, Maurice Spurgeon having Blake Hambrand's back on that one. You know, he saw Robert Redford put Blake Hambrand on his back, and he just returns the favor on his teammate. Just a great hit by the veteran safety.
So 3rd and 8 upcoming. We'll see if we can get one more play off before the end of the first quarter. Empty set. Tyree to throw. Deep over the middle. That's caught. What a great catch. Harrelson moving the chains down to the 14-yard line.
That's probably the most difficult throw Julian Tyree has thrown all game so far. That's another post route, and he puts the ball in the perfect place. Incredible play.
And that incredible play will bring this first quarter to a close. Sioux Falls only up by 7, but we will see what they can do here in the second quarter, knocking on the door as we will flip sides of the field here in Liberty Park, South Dakota. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And again, this is a good formation, can run or pass out of it. As Tyree is under center, facing 4 down linemen. Little play action, this time stays in the pocket. He's going to throw it over the middle of the field to his tight end. It's a good chunk of 4 yards. Looks like he learned from his mistake on that last play, Ramos.
Yeah, he did, and you know, that was a good play. You know, when you're here on this side of the field, obviously the field shrinks, so there's less chances to throw the ball. But, you know, perfect play to just get a few yards, put your offense in a second and manageable situation.
He's going to get stopped behind the line for a yard or 2 loss. It'll be 3rd and 8.
You know, and again, you know, this is the opportunity for this defense to just get another turnover. Probably, you know, if the Sparrows look like they will pass, so, you know, Hambrack, Spurgeon, you know, those guys have to get another takeaway.
Drive stalling just a little bit here. Sioux Falls able to get a man over on the left-hand side. Michael Moore with another catch. It'll be shy of the first down marker. And Sioux Falls will see if they can tack on 3 points here.
Nice job by the Chicago defense, just keeping everything in front of them. Even though I was a little bit surprised Maurice Spurgeon was not caught right there with a late hit. Probably looked a little bit out of bounds on that one. But, you know, great job by this defense, just limited the damage and getting the half stop.
So 25-yard field goal upcoming here. Kick is up and on the way. It is good, officially from 24 yards. So Sioux Falls opens up a 10-0 lead here at home against the Wildcats in a Central Conference matchup just before playoff time. And I know you guys are itching, waiting to see all the playoffs. And if you want to see all the scores from those playoffs, be sure to download that ScoreStream app available on Android and iOS, the official scoring app of the SFL. Kick away, Chicago to field it. Davis Reed with a spin move, and he gets a shoulder to his shoulder as a thank you for that. Down at the 29-yard line. What do you think Chicago is going to come up with here on this next possession, Ramos?
I think they will try to throw the ball to the outside with their receivers. You know, I think they have to involve their receivers a little bit more, Gilbert and those guys, so, you know, they can start getting consistent first downs.
1st and 10, 9:33 to go in the first half. E.T. King scrambling, looking around. He's going to run, and that was a dangerous play as he could have easily coughed that one up. He gets a 4-yard gain, though.
Yeah, you don't see E.T. King on that, you know, running the ball very often. You know, that was a man-to-man coverage play, a situation by the defense. So, you know, that's a nice play call by the Sioux Falls Sparrows. Not a very mobile quarterback. You kind of want to just play 22-man on the situation, so you can have tight coverage and force E.T. King to run.
This time going to be a handoff to J. Calvin Kim, who goes nowhere. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 6 upcoming from the 33. That Sparrow defense coming in there, specifically those linebackers that you talked about, Ramos.
Yeah, Nick Fargo on that one, just, you know, clogging the inside. You know, big dude, number 92 on the defense. And, you know, another third down situation for Chicago. Let's see if they can convert.
King with a deep drop, deep pass over to the left-hand side, and that is caught. Reeled in by Kendall Gilbert. That's a heck of a catch on the left-hand sideline.
You know, earlier this season I coined the term, you got Merrill. You know, when I was looking at an Alaska game, and Robert Merrill just made a crazy catch in coverage. Well, Adam McCoy just got Merrill on that one because that was a phenomenal play by Kendall Gilbert.
Nothing that you can do there. Perfect defense on the play. Kendall Gilbert just wanted it more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Empty set here for E.T. King. He'll snap the ball. Steps up in the pocket. Over the middle of the field. A diving attempt at a pick. And it goes all for naught as Zeli able to ring in his first reception of the day. And it'll be a first down upcoming for Chicago.
Beautiful play by E.T. King. He just, you know, stood up in the pocket and just delivered a perfect strike. You know, that was a very good effort by the defender on that one, diving to make the deflection. But that was a perfect throw.
Adam McCoy, the guy in coverage there, as King's going to throw on the right-hand side. Caught again. This time Shan Varner getting in on the action.
You know, sometimes it feels like Shan Varner is a little bit unutilized on this offense. You know, also a big dude. He's like 6'5", 250, big target. And, you know, it seems that sometimes E.T. King does not look up to his tight end often enough. So let's see if this game Shan Varner can get, you know, more targets.
Second and short upcoming. 3 wideouts and a pro set. Handoff to Calvin Kim. Big hole up the middle. And those linebackers bring him down, but not before he's able to get a first down into the SFL red zone. 1st and 10 upcoming for the Wildcats.
And that was a beautiful job by the offensive line of the Chicago Wildcats, just, you know, giving his quarterback the time to deliver a perfect strike. And just, you know, great play. I mean, I think the Chicago has to do a little bit more of this.
Moving the ball well as King steps up again, finds another man over the middle of the field. This time that is Davis Reed, and he sets his team up with a 1st and goal, if I can get my words out right, from the 6-yard line.
Yeah, me too. I meant running back on that previous call, not quarterback. Sorry. Yeah. Just everything's happening too fast, Eric.
All having a case of the bumbles here.
Yeah.
6 minutes to go and counting. 1st and goal for the Wildcats. We'll see if they can score here. Check down to Varner, and a vicious spin move. Good grief. Able to get down to the goal line, basically. It'll be 2nd and goal upcoming. That was a great play by the veteran tight end, Varner.
Yeah, let's see if they do a little bit more of this because, you know, Shan Varner, you know, the big dude, and, you know, making a spin move. You know, in this goal line situation, you want to throw the ball to the big target.
Hand off to King, not able to get in there. Excuse me, J. Calvin Kim. He'll actually lose a yard. They'll back him up to the 2-yard line. Good defense on that play.
Yeah, tremendous defense again by Nick Fargo, who is dominating the left side of this line of scrimmage.
Get a look at him lining up here. Handoff again to Kim, following his blockers, and he's still going to be stopped short. Gets the yard back, but he's going to be stopped at the 1-yard line. A great goal line stand by this Sparrows defense.
And it's A.J. Levy, and again, Nick Fargo, who was lined up on the left and pursues to the right and makes the stop before J. Calvin Kim is able to get a touchdown. Incredible play by the defense and an unbelievable stop.
High snap, gets it down. Chip shot field goal is up and good from 17. So Chicago Finally on the board here as the first half ticks away, 4:28 left to go. And we will pause for a moment from our sponsors. You are watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
Follow the SFL on Twitter at SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
A.J. Warren is just getting destroyed on these kickoff returns. Chicago special teams coming out with a vengeance as he takes another vicious hit, lands him at the 33-yard line. And we'll see what Sioux Falls can do. Again, they have to win by 10 points or more in order to secure the Central Division and the number 3 seed in the playoffs. First and 10, over to the left-hand side, and that's caught, able to stay in bounds. 8-yard gain for Mr. Moore on the left-hand side.
Yeah, and Julian Tyree already with 192 yards throwing the ball against this really good secondary of the Wildcats. If I remember correctly, the Chicago Wildcats came into this game being the #1 passing defense in the entire SFL. So Julian Tyree is really racking up the yards.
Redford in the backfield. He will get the pass from Tyree, and another hit. A.J. Barnes this time delivering the blow. And this Chicago defense is laying the lumber out there between Afalabi, Barnes, Hamrack, all of them out there, just making sure that no yards are being had by this Sparrows offense. Third and short, quick handoff, plenty of room, bursting up the middle is Redford, and he'll be marked down just past midfield at the 49-yard line.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that one. We will, because it was a trap play, and number 75, Cooper Colston, just does an unbelievable job on the offensive line. Just open up the hole. Robert Redford runs right through it, and it's an easy first down for the Sparrows.
Got to watch out for those trap plays, the surprise trap plays, because they don't come around too often. First and 10 from the 49-yard line, 3:05 left to go. Tyree over the middle of the field, almost picked off.
Yeah, that one very dangerous, and it was the linebacker who just got in front of the receiver on that one and, almost got away with the interception.
Brett Tillis, the non-contract backer, able to get his big mitt on it. Falls incomplete, second and 10. Tyree under center. He will drop back to pass. Another design screen for Redford. Trying to follow his blocker. One blocker was able to spring him for the first down. Get that man a contract. Number 79 laying some great blocks on the outside.
Yeah, Joe Casey Murray just does a great job. He's the left tackle, goes to the outside, picks up the block on Afolabi, and Robert Redford is patient enough to go to the outside. Murray picks up another block, this time on Rockefeller, and Redford goes to the outside of him as well. And that's why he was able to get the first down. A well-coached team.
Robert Redford, his first season in the SFL, looking like a veteran out there with decisions like those. As Tyree will throw, has plenty of time. This time he'll check it down and finds Redford once again. Coming out to the 35-yard line, gain of 4.
Yeah, nothing was open down the field. The receiver, Warren, did an inside route. He was not open. So Julian Tyree with the poise just waits for it and delivers a good ball for a short gain.
Sioux Falls, I think, was trying to get one more play off before the 2-minute warning. They do not. And we have reached the 2-minute warning here in Liberty Park. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Two minutes left to go in the half. Sioux Falls up 10-3. Tyree finds Warren over the middle, and that's going to be a first down out to the 25, knocking on the door once again.
That's a very similar route that the Sparrows ran a couple plays ago where Warren was not open and Julian Tyree had to check it down to Redford. This time, number 15 was, found a spot in the zone. It was a sub zone and able to get a first down. Great play.
Tyree to throw once again. Another one of those design screens for Redford. Lowers the boom on Kanye Rockefeller and gets out of bounds. But man, did he pay for it? Is he getting knocked out at the 15-yard line? 1st and 10 upcoming. They're actually still running the clock. I don't know why they marked him in bounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that Sioux Falls got a little bit screwed on that one, and now they're hurrying up to the line of scrimmage.
Offset I formation for the Sparrows. Tyree to throw. Deep drop. Finds a man on the left-hand side. Incomplete. The defense was ready for it as Rockefeller was out there with Afalabi on the incompletion.
Yeah, Afalabi goes to the outside on a zone coverage play and just gets in front of the receiver and makes a great pass deflection on that one.
Both teams still with all 3 of their timeouts. As we get a look at Redford, who already, he's quietly had 11 catches in this game. How does that happen?
Wow, that's just crazy.
Sioux Falls is going to be the new Swing City as he gets his 12th reception. And oh my goodness.
You know, that's why this Chicago defense was number 1, well, is number 1 in passing defense because of hits like that. And, you know, Redford looks a little bit gassed out there.
You see him on the sideline there, probably getting a little bit of a breather. Sioux Falls calling their first time out at the end of that last play. It'll be an empty set for Tyree, 5 wideouts. 53 seconds to work with at the 14-yard line. He'll throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, Sean Harrelson. That's his 2nd grab of the day, resulting in a touchdown.
Yeah, that's another just post route, and that's what Sioux Falls does all the time. It's just those post routes. Harrelson, Warren, everybody just does that post route. Perfect pass by the quarterback, Julian Tyree, and another score.
So they lengthen their lead. Once again, they have to win by 10 in order to clinch the Central and that number 3 spot in the playoffs. Setting up for the extra point, and it is up and good. So a 14-point lead for Sioux Falls as we are within a minute left in the first half. I want to thank you guys for coming out and joining us today. We've got 36 strong watching, only 14 likes. Be sure to hit that like button down there, that big old thumbs up. Definitely helps us out. We appreciate that. And Chicago hoping to get their first touchdown on the board here, playing for pride. Eliminated from playoff contention, but can play spoiler a little bit to the Sioux Falls Sparrows as they are hoping for a higher seed. As Davis Reed gets destroyed on that play. Hops right back up. Down at the 24-yard line. 46 seconds to work with for the Wildcats.
You know, and remember, at this moment, it's important for Sioux Falls to score as many points as they can, because if they win by more than 10, they will be able to get that seed instead of Tulsa. So Sioux Falls definitely wants to put in some more points on this.
Hand off to Calvin Kim. Plenty of room in the middle of the field. Finally wrapped up by Dodd. But that was a huge burst by the veteran runner, J. Calvin Kim.
Yeah, catching this Sioux Falls defense a little bit off guard. Probably they were expecting the pass, and that's just great blocking up front. The fullback goes to the 3rd level, makes the block on the safety, and they're able to get a big first down. You know, they're about like 30 yards away from field goal range, so, you know, Chicago definitely can, you know, has a chance to score some more points.
Especially with 2 timeouts, 41 seconds is an eternity in the SFL.
Yeah.
Lining up in a full house formation, looks like. 41 seconds to go from their own 41. Handoff to Calvin Kim, and he's not able to get past the line of scrimmage. He'll get marked down at the 41, clock continuing to tick.
What a play by Johnny Summers.
We're going to run the same exact play, it looks like. This time he's getting some yards out to the 47-yard line, 3rd and 4. They still have their timeouts, neglecting not to use them as they get reset once again. Another handoff, this time up the middle is Kim, and he won't get the first down. And that will probably bring us to the end of the first half of action. Sioux Falls up top by 14 as we head into the locker rooms. We'll get a look at the halftime show, first half stats and highlights, and we will join you in just a bit on the other end. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. We get a look at beautiful Liberty Park here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Old Mount Rushmore in the background. Getting a look at the highlighter yellow uniforms of the Sioux Falls Sparrows. The opposing Chicago Wildcats to receive the second half kickoff. They are in their white on whites with their silver helmet. And Ramos, what do you expect to see from the Wildcats coming out in the second half, trying to keep things close?
Well, they have to play good up front on the offensive line. You know, there was one before we got to halftime where J. Calvin Kim was able to get like a good 15, 18 yards. So I think it's going to be very important for Chicago to have those blocks on the second level on those linebackers. So I think that's what Chicago needs to do. You know, better protection up front for E.T. King to throw the ball and for J. Calvin Kim to get some runs. That's going to be the key.
E.T. King is going to be under center to start things off. He will pass over to the right-hand side. Finds Z-Live, not able to keep his feet in bounds for long. But he does get 7 yards out of it. That's a good play on first down.
You know, it is, and that's how you can have your quarterback settled on the offensive side. I think that, you know, you have 2 quarters left. You don't have to score right now. You can play some keep away even from Sioux Falls. Scoring some points here in this drive is going to be important.
2nd and 3 for the Wildcats. King's going to throw again, this time a design screen to J. Calvin Kim. I think they might get the Sparrows defense for a late hit on King, roughing the passer. Now instead it's going to be a hold. And they'll go ahead and back up Sioux Falls. Chicago will. And was I the only one seeing that? Was that possibly a roughing the passer on that one?
Yeah, probably was just in the limit. I thought actually it was going to be like an eligible receiver down the field, like a lineman just going down the field. But either way, it's just a tough break for the Wildcats here.
So now a 2nd and 13. E.T. King throws a wobbler over the middle of the field, but that's somehow caught by Kendall Gilbert past midfield to the 46-yard line.
Wow, what a throw. You know, that's the touch pass by King on like a Peyton Manning type of throw, because it was not a perfect spiral. That was a light duck and able to make the catch.
Now a 1st and 10 into enemy territory is is Chicago. 9:33 and counting left to go in the 3rd quarter. King going to check it down to J. Calvin Kim. Gets a huge chunk of yards. Gets about 8 or 9. We'll mark him down at the 37, so it'll be a 2nd and 1 coming up for the veteran running back and company. – 17-3 ball game here in South Dakota. Second and 1 is going to be a handoff to Kim, who gets 1st down yardage out to the 33-yard line. It's a good-looking run there for J. Calvin Kim.
Yeah, definitely. And important to get the 1st down on this play and keep the chains moving.
Coming out in that same full house formation that they were running just before the half. Kind of got stuck in that loop as they were running the no huddle. But J. Calvin Kim is able to get 4 or 5 yards on that play. That's probably about as much as you're going to get on that play, though. It's too cluttered in the backfield for me. Am I wrong on this one, Ramos?
Yeah, it's a little bit, especially when you have this big, enormous linebackers, you know, and I know I'm saying a lot of this linebackers, but, you know, why not? I mean, they are just incredible, and, you know, when those plays, you need to have perfect blocking, and with those big guys, it's really difficult to do so.
Another good run by J. Calvin Kim, gain of 3 this time. Chicago still knocking on the door, 3rd and 3 from the 26. As we get a look at Kim's stats, not averaging a whole lot on the ground. Certainly not up to par by his standards. As we get a look at this 3rd and short, King's going to throw. Has a man wide open to Shan Varner. Good pursuit on defense by Dodd, but it's going to be a 1st down into the red zone. Chicago and Shan Varner moving the chains.
And that's just easy pitch and catch from E.T. King to Shan Varner, and every time E.T. King has gone to Varner, it's been positive play. So, you know, that's why I'm surprised that Chicago does not go to their tight end a little bit more.
Kim sidestepping tacklers out to the 12-yard line. That was a good-looking run. Looked like he was probably going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but good shifty moves there by the veteran back.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and that's what I said, you know, before, you know, after, sorry, the halftime, sorry, you know, I was saying that they need to have some strong blocking in the 2nd level.
That seems to be what they are getting from the run game, at least in the 2nd half. A good methodical 1st possession as they've taken off 4 minutes in counting off the clock as Kim strolling up to the 3-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and goal. Tackle made on the play by one of those linebackers, Fargo, that you were talking about.
Yeah, but I know, again, great blocking up front by the Wildcats. You know, they're at the 3-yard line. J. Calvin Kim just looks a little bit gassed. So this is Shan Varner territory.
3 yards to get into the end zone. We'll see if they go pass. Instead, they'll go run. And J. Calvin Kim, once again, not able to get into the end zone. Tackle made by Parker.
Yeah. And it's just those situations where the field shrinks and you want to run against this defense is hard. So, you know, I think that your best bet is going to the outside, you know, throwing the ball to the outside and, you know, make those wide receivers beat the corners.
Jake Calvin Kim gets some good blocking up front. This time he'll waltz in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Yeah, and that one, I just think that the defensive line just ran a bad stunt, because it's like they just ran to the outside. They were just probably trying to stop an outside run instead of covering the inside. So Jake Calvin Kim had a freeway to the end zone.
So with 5:55 left to go, Chicago has narrowed the gap within that point range that Sioux Falls is not wanting, as it is up and good. They are within 7 points now of Sioux Falls. And once again, Sioux Falls trying to win by 10 or more today in order to secure the Central Conference and the number 3 seed in the upcoming SFL playoffs.
Yeah, obviously, if you're a Tulsa fan, you're just, hoping for Chicago to just maintain this lead. I mean, Chicago, if you're Tulsa, you're like, man, Chicago doesn't even have to win just to limit the damage.
And that's what they were doing until now. A.J. Warren busting one down the right sideline. Can he beat everyone? He's going to. And a kick return for a touchdown. Sioux Falls kicking themselves back up on top here.
Man, speaking about damage, A.J. Warren, he looked dead in the water on that one, because, there was just a cluster of people right there, and he just goes to the outside. Everybody on the Chicago Wildcats over pursues, and it's just about speed, and number 15 will outrun number 28 10 times out of 10.
Just nothing that you can do there. That was a nifty little sidestep, as he saw that there was a cluster of guys upcoming. And, just like that, they're back up on top by 13. Prefontaine trying to make it 14, as the extra point is up and good. Sioux Falls up by 14 over the Chicago Wildcats. Again, they need to win by 10. And things are looking good so far for the hometown Sparrows. 5:41 left to go, as they are set to kick things off to the Wildcats. We'll see if Davis Reed can do his best A.J. Warren impersonation.
Davis Reed is one of the best returners in the league this year, so look out for number 18.
Once again, download that ScoreStream app to keep yourself up to date on all of the SFL scores. It is available for free on both Android and iOS. Getting a look, I'm actually looking at my ScoreStream app right now, keeping me up to date. Tallahassee with a 3-touchdown lead over the Skyhawks at home, as we have our game going on right now. 24-10 ball game in South Dakota. We'll see what Chicago can do, as E.T. King was looking for Gilbert out there on the left-hand side. Couldn't quite complete that diving circus catch. Dodd out there on the coverage.
Yeah, great coverage by Dodd on, the support on his corner, because the corner got beat badly on that one. I think that was Adam Okoye that was beat on that play. But Chris Dodd, a tremendous job going, as wide as he could and make the defensive play.
And Jay Calvin Kim gets a handoff, trying to follow his blockers, not able to get free for much, as they'll mark him down at the 35-yard line, gain of 3. And thank you for correcting me, Sean Harrelson. It's in Carolina. Tallahassee is up 21-0 in Carolina. So 3rd and 7 upcoming. King with plenty of time, looking for a man over the middle of the field. That's incomplete, but there is a marker on the field.
Probably another holding penalty, because he had all day to throw. Nope.
Well, they're going to call a pass interference on the defense. I didn't necessarily see anything that would cause them to throw a flag, Ramos. I'm a little perplexed by that.
Yeah, that was a weird sequence of events. You know, he had all day to throw. The defensive line was kind of stuck on the offensive line. Great blocking. And, you know, I didn't see the interference as well. So, you know, weird looking play, but Chicago has another first down.
Hometown refs going against the hometown team. I'm not sure if that's typically how things go. But with 5:01 left to go, Chicago gets a good chunk of yards and a free first down as King's going to throw over the middle, and he's got a man. What a catch over the middle of the field, and guess who? Shan Varner making a huge play for his team.
And that's just a post route by Shan Varner, and we look at that. You know, he goes in a post route, good blocking up front, and that's a perfect throw by E.T. King. The big guy, number 88, goes up, gets the ball. He gets hit hard by two defenders, but he comes down with it.
Parker was out there on coverage. Maybe a weakness is the pass coverage for these linebackers.
Watch a deep pass here.
This time they're going to go run, though. And the run defense is obviously there, as J. Calvin Kim has not gotten much today. He's been limited to, I believe, under 50 yards, if I'm counting right. Be 2nd and 8 upcoming. Looks like I've been corrected again. Sean Harrelson said, no, they're playing Carolina. So it's Tallahassee and Carolina. It's another game. It's in another place. Let's worry about this game. As J. Calvin Kim gets a catch out of the backfield out to the 25-yard line. 3rd and short upcoming for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and 3rd and 3, if I'm Sioux Falls, I'm just covering Shan Varner. You know, it seems that they're going in that formation. The swing pass on this formation, but you know, I'm keeping my eye on number 88.
Coming out in that full house formation again, Kim sneaking his way out of the backfield, and it's a good short yardage formation there and good short yardage play as they get a first down out of it. Ramos.
Yeah, a lot of guts in running the ball. You know, it's 3rd and 3. You know, it's not like 3rd and 8, 3rd and a big 3 yards to go, and they just trust their veteran running back, J. Calvin Kim, to make a play.
Chicago down 24-10 as E.T. King takes the snap. Gonna get hit from behind, sacked on the play, and that was the defensive end getting in there on the stop.
You know, it was another case, this one it was Tyron Black. It was another case where the Sioux Falls Sparrows were just running bump and run coverage on the 3 receivers, and when that happens, you have to either just deliver a tight throw by E.T. King and make decisions quickly, or you have to run the ball who, you know, E.T. King does not have the legs to scramble. So, great play call defensively by Sioux Falls.
King to throw again, stepping up, and he's going to get sacked once again. Another huge loss, this time for 6, back to the 35-yard line and out of the field goal range.
Man, is this the Tallahassee defensive line? Looks like it. It looks like it was a defensive line of the Tallahassee Pride, because, you know, they crashed the offensive line, crashed the pocket quickly. So now, 3rd and long, the opportunistic secondary. Let's see if they can get a takeaway.
King forced to throw a deep pass, bobbled and incomplete. I couldn't tell if Zeli got a hand on it or the defender did, but either way, it falls incomplete. 4th and long coming up.
Yeah, I think that was Nick Pop getting some hands on it. You look at this replay, and yep, definitely it was him, and that ball was way overthrown by E.T. King. You know, feeling a little bit of pressure after 2 sacks, you know, just seeing a little bit of ghosts probably, and that takes them out of field goal range. They were in comfortable field goal range, and now they have to punt. That's an incredible stop by the Sioux Falls Sparrows.
Chicago fields the snap, trying to pin them back deep, but it's going to bounce harmlessly into the end zone for a touchback. We'll pause for just a moment. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, brought to you by APM Music.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search through thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us. APM Music, production music library, and custom music house.
Get another huge hit by Robert Redford before him taking a hit of his own. And he's marked down at the 26-yard line, gain of 6.
Yeah, Robert Redford running angry right now.
Second and 4 upcoming for the Sparrows. Another handoff for Redford. Gets maybe about half of the yards he needed to get back. Referees are going to mark him down at the 27. Tackle on the play by Afolabi.
You know, this third and short situation, however, you know, we see time and time again, even though in third and short situations, Sioux Falls likes to chuck it deep. So, you know, if I'm Chicago, I'm just playing this a little bit conservative.
And they're going to, as Redford able to sneak past for the first down. And Chicago was hoping to get a 3 and out on that drive, but unfortunately for them, Sioux Falls moving the sticks once again.
Yeah.
Offset I formation upcoming for Tyree. He's under center, 2 wideouts towards the top of your screen. Tyree is going to wait in the pocket, has time, patient, rolling back, and somehow is able to stay in the pocket and get sacked. Chicago with a big play on defense.
Incredible coverage down the field by the Wildcats secondary. Odom on this one. Gets past the offensive line. Julian Tyree goes back, trying to get a little bit more time to throw the ball, and goes down hard.
Huge loss on the play. Brings up a 2nd and a mile. Sioux Falls able to get 1 play off before the third quarter ends. And great play by the veteran safety Maurice Spurgeon, swatting that ball to the ground to close out the third quarter. Referee will blow it dead. And everybody get your forwards out. We're coming into the fourth quarter. We got a good ball game here, folks. Here in South Dakota, chilly and windy South Dakota. Sioux Falls up by 14. And Chicago trying to play spoiler here in the final period. So 3rd and 21 as we flip the side of the field. Not a whole lot of plays in the playbook for this kind of situation, but somehow finds a man. There were 2 men over the middle of the field, Michael Moore and Sean Harrelson. Harrelson with his 4th catch of the ball game. This one, certainly a big one.
You know, that's another just unbelievable throw by a Hall of Fame quarterback here, like Julian Tyree is. You know, 2 receivers in the facility, and he just delivers a perfect stride, perfect spiral on this. Great play. You know, you mentioned there's not a lot of plays in the playbook. Well, they called one of them and worked perfectly.
Ended up working to perfection. This time they're going to come out with 4 wideouts. Tyree to pass, steps up, throws it over to the sideline, and Redford not able to keep his feet in bounds. Actually, he is. They'll mark him at midfield, but only give him maybe a gain of 6 inches.
Yeah, and, you know, this just looks like a very, very sharp offense, Eric. You know, Sioux Falls, you know, just running the football. Redford is looking very strong. The wide receivers, sharp as always. The offensive line giving Tyree some time.
Tyree to throw over the middle. Warren not able to pull it in. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 upcoming from about midfield.
You know, it looked like Warren was feeling some footsteps on that one because it was the safety, I think, who was crashing down the middle. I think it was A.J. Barnes. And, you know, A.J. Warren, you know, felt, you know, the footsteps on that one.
So certainly not a 3rd and forever, but a 3rd and 10 nonetheless. As Tyree comes out in an empty, 5 wide. Has a man in the middle of the field, past the defense as Michael Moore slips through a tackler. Pulled down at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal upcoming.
You know, and it's again, you know, that post route, I mean, if the opposing team can stop it, just keep running it, right? So You know, Kanye Rockefeller with outside leverage. He was kind of probably expecting a corner route on an out route on this one. Michael Moore just does an inside, you know, route as a post route. And another great pass, great throw, and a 1st and goal.
On the 7-yard line, Tyree, quick pass over to Redford. Only has one blocker out there and several Chicago Wildcats defenders. I'm no mathematician, but that doesn't add up well for Redford as he gets knocked down at the 5.
And Robert Redford just looks like that type of running back who runs with power, doesn't he, Eric? Like, you know, their neck roll and the big face mask and the visor and the sleeves. And, you know, he just looks like a bad man right there.
Well, that's funny. He's only 5'10", 219, as he gets another carry here out to the 3-yard line, inching closer to the goal line off a lobby with a stop. But he runs like he's 350 pounds. He runs like Refrigerator Perry did back in the 80s.
Yeah, he definitely does.
So a 3rd and goal upcoming. 3 wideouts, offset I formation for Tyree. Under center, hands it off to Redford. Goes nowhere. And Afalabi on him once again. 4th and goal coming up for the Sparrows.
Now, this is a very important field goal for the Sparrows coming up, because with this field goal, they will be up 17. So even if Chicago scores a touchdown, they will be, the game will be 27-17, which will still give Sioux Falls that 10-point lead that they need to surpass the Tulsa Desperados in the standings.
That is good. Kick up and away, and it is also good from 20 yards. And as you mentioned, lengthens that lead to 17. It is 27-10 in favor of the hometown Sparrows, as Prefontaine gets set to tee the ball up once again. 8:08 left to go. Extra seeding on the line for the Sparrows. Chicago, unfortunately for them, eliminated from playoff contention. But the Sparrows looking to lock up the Central Division. And the number 3 seed is Davis Reed is running around in circles back there. And he gets knocked down at the 23-yard line. Chicago will take over.
Strawberry wrong way. Yeah, that was a punt from last season. If you know where, if you were not here last season, you will not get the reference. But I think Chicago needs to just, why not? They're eliminated already. Just throw the ball, man. Just try to test those corners, get a big play, and try to score a touchdown here.
Especially with Sioux Falls stacking the box here, but J. Calvin Kim's going to get the handoff. He goes nowhere as Levant Irvine in there on the stop. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Wildcats.
Man, that power formation is kind of like a double-edged sword, Eric, because, you can get big plays with that, especially if the blocking is correct. But if it's not, you get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. You get stuck in those run plays when you go no huddle. You don't have enough passing plays if you get stuck in a 3rd and long.
Another quick handoff for Kim. Again, no gain for the veteran running back. This Sparrows defense shutting him down. I believe Irvine was in there on the stop once again. 3rd and 10 coming up here.
This is, again, this is where A.J. Levy, those guys, Hall of Fame caliber players, just sniffing the ball.
I think I struck a nerve with poor Shan Varner as E.T. King going down the field. Nick Pop on the defense there. Knocks it down. It'll be 4th and 10 coming up. I keep saying that Chicago is in the standings where they are, and I think I hurt Shan's feelings a little bit. He already knows they're out.
But it happens, Eric. With those teams, it happened to me after losing the championship game season 5 against the Dragons. The very next season we were 3-9. So a bad season is not the end of the world. We've seen teams like Tallahassee also go 3-9. Look at them now. So just gather yourselves. Recreate your playbook, your team, see what went wrong, and just come back stronger next season.
It's 100% true. My Swarm made it to the championship game last season. The conference championship. before getting eliminated, and this time we weren't even going to make it to the playoffs. So, it happens in the SFL. Plenty of good teams, plenty of great talent, and we're watching two of them on the field right now, as Chicago putting up some good defense against the Sioux Falls team, as Julian Tyree is throwing it over the middle of the field, finds Michael Moore for a big gain, 340 yards passing for the future Hall of Famer.
And again, it's just Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. Same play calling. Why not? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad against it. I mean, if it works and if you get 30 yards every play, if the opposing defense can stop it, why not?
A wise man once said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's essentially what's happening here. As Tyree's going to throw once again. A little out route over to the right-hand side. Warren is tackled on the play by A.J. Barnes. Gain of 6.
And just going well for the Sioux Falls offense right now. I mean, it's just like they cannot do wrong here. Running the ball with Redford, he's running strong, he looks fast. The wide receivers look good, the offensive line looks good.
Tyree throwing a design screen to Redford, and once again Redford getting just enough yardage before Barnes wraps him up at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up as clock continues to tick down.
And this is what Sioux Falls wants. They want to probably take 2 more minutes off the clock here, get another score, and just make sure that you will be in front of Tulsa in the standings.
Cover the spread that they need to cover, get the starters off the field, get out of there, and wrap up Central. Dropping passes isn't going to do it, as that one's incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, that's another situation where the running back now, Ashley Anderson, and actually he's put on the depth chart as a fullback. Running a route, and normally you don't see backfield players on the outside catching passes.
They're going to go with 5 wideouts here. Empty set for Tyree. Deep pass tipped in. It's going to be intercepted by Maurice Spurgeon, who takes a knee in the end zone. And we'll see what Chicago can do here with 5:12 left to go. That was a mistake by Tyree.
Yeah, and, it was the same play, and now finally they have double coverage on Warren. Tip pass, just waiting for somebody on the defense to put the hands on. Maurice Spurgeon, Mohawk, makes the interception, takes a knee, and Chicago starts at the 20-yard line. Good stop by the Wildcats here.
And Spurgeon saying, we ain't done yet. Let's go. Let's get some points on the board. As E.T. King is under center, he will pass. Has time, pump fake, sidearms it, and it's going to be called an incomplete pass. Luckily for him, because he was facing some extreme pressure by that defensive line.
Yeah, definitely. And, this defensive line, even though they don't have any star players on it, I mean, they just play like it. At least they are playing today like it. We've seen the defensive ends just destroy plays at the line of scrimmage and run plays, and the defensive tackles just look at that.
Just an extreme push up front. Lots of penetration by this defensive line. And another loss of a yard on the play. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that J. Calvin Kim could do against this defense.
Yeah, again, Johnny Summers, who I'd call him more than some of the star players on this Sioux Falls defense. He's just having a tremendous game as a non-contracted player.
Sioux Falls going to bring in extra defenders for this 5 wideout set, as King is going to throw it over the middle, drops a dime, and I believe that was Shan Varner on the catch. No, it was one of the extra wide receivers out there. And this is a good setup for them to go no huddle, but it falls incomplete as he was looking for another receiver over the middle of the field.
Yeah, I like the idea on going no huddle in that formation. 5 wide receivers, especially when you get a big play, just kind of catch the defense of the Sioux Falls Sparrows off guard. But unfortunately, he overthrew his receiver.
He was looking at a couple non-contractors, Matrullo and I believe it was Baker, as E.T. King is scrambling around in the backfield, throws it as he's getting hit, and it's an incomplete pass. A dangerous throw out there, Ramos.
Yeah, and it looked like E.T. King panicked on that one. Again, it was man-to-man coverage, bump and run, and you know the receivers could not get any separation. So E.T. King kind of panicked, kind of run the wrong way, and kind of stepped up again in the pocket, and he looked a little bit phased on that one.
We're gonna go with this empty set once again. See what E.T. King can do. Steps up, and he's hit as he's thrown. It's gonna be incomplete. He was facing a DB blitz on that play.
Yeah, Seno Sika again, who has had a very good game as a non-contracted player, and I'm surprised that was not ruled a fumble, Eric.
I'm a little surprised myself.
Yeah, I don't think the arm was moving forward, but ruled an incomplete, and they have to go for it on this 4th down. And again, man-to-man coverage.
Crowd on their feet here in Liberty Park in South Dakota, cheering on their hometown Sparrows. And Chicago is going to be stopped and sacked. Sioux Falls going to get the ball back with 4:07 left to go, and they'll just look to tick some time off the clock.
And that was a very poor job by Jay Calvin Kim on that one. He just didn't block anybody. The pressure was right from the middle, and number 20 was supposed to help his lineman on the blocking, and he didn't do anything.
There were a couple plays like that today where the offensive linemen were just kind of standing around as the defensive line just goes right around them. Redford with another catch to his resume and another hit on an opposing DB. This time Kanye Rockefeller receives the brunt of Redford's frustration. 7-yard gain as time ticks away.
You're saying Bentley who?
No joke.
Hey, I have some power. 219 pounds. They put in some work.
It's Bentley. Bentley's a car, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding, Ray Bentley. We love you. 3:27 and counting. Tyree taking as much clock off of there as he can as Redford bursts up the line of scrimmage up to the 20-yard line. To the red zone they go. 1st and 10 upcoming for the Sparrows.
It will be fun to see a Bentley go against a Red Ford.
Ooh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I like it. You're a thinker there, Ramos Lynn. You're a thinker.
Just one-on-one. Let's see who can push the other one. That will be fun.
2:50 and counting now as the play clock under 10. Down to 7 as Tyree throws another screen to Redford, trying to lower that shoulder once again. Wasn't as successful this time around, but he gets a yard out of it, and the clock is still going.
Yeah, that's what you want your Sioux Falls, with 2 minutes left. You don't even have to score a touchdown anymore because you have the central locked in with a field goal. You just run the ball, get some time more off the clock, get a field goal, and get out of there with a win and with the Central Division Championship.
Tallahassee with a lead, 23-10 over the Skyhawks, as the Sparrows going into the 2-minute warning with a lead after this play. As Redford is wrapped up at the 18-yard line, it will be 1:59 left on the clock for this 2-minute warning. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And with the clock stopped, they come out in a passing formation because why not? And I believe the backups are in the game. I believe that's Willie Beeman at quarterback as he gets absolutely mauled as he was trying to throw. It'll be 4th and 8 with the clock stopped at 1:55.
Yeah, you can blame the guy. You cannot blame the guy. I mean, Willie Beeman trying to get a spot of probably a team next season because it seems that Julian Tyree will be here for quite some time. So Beeman probably will never see the field as starting quarterback for the Sioux Falls Sparrows. So kind of auditioning for other teams here.
Prefontaine setting up for yet another field goal, adding to the Sparrows' lead. All they needed to win by was 10 in order to clinch the Central and move to the number 3 spot ahead of Tulsa. And they are up by 20 here with 1:52 left to go. As we get a look at the field goal, we will pause for a moment from our sponsors.
Join the world's fastest growing sim football community by jumping onto our Discord server. Use the Discord command in chat to keep up with schedules, news, notes, announcements, and polls. Jump off the sidelines and into the action, here where we're loading legends at the SFL.
Reed with the return out to the 27-yard line. Chicago still with a little time to put some points on the board. And what might be their final drive of the 10th season of SFL action. Coming out in an empty set. 5 wideouts for E.T. King. He will pass deep over to the right-hand side. That's caught. Good chunk of yards and a quick timeout by Chicago. Zeli out there on the catch. 1st and 10 upcoming on from the 49.
Yeah, backups are in for Sioux Falls across the board. That was number 47, J.T. Lane on the coverage. And, you know, he's not matched for the speedster here.
Most of these guys coming off here might be a little bit cold, lacking a little bit of star power. So we'll see what they can do as far as that goes. Especially against formidable offensive weapons that the Wildcats have. As King is going to throw deep once again. This time it's tipped and incomplete. There's good play there on the defense.
Yeah, AJ Levy on that one, you know, and this is going to happen, you know, here in the SFL. You know, most backups will be in, but there will always be that, you know, veteran presence on the secondary, you know, most times a safety that, you know, will be leading this defense, you know, because some of these players have not entered the field since like preseason, Eric. So, you know, you need some veteran presence here.
This is very true. Trips towards the top of the screen, deep pass, and it's going to be picked off. I believe Chris Dodd is still in there as he grabs his interception out to the 34-yard line. Good defense once again by Sioux Falls. That'll probably pretty much do it.
Yeah, it's just now, you know, taking some knees. If your Sparrows enjoy your Central Division Championship, congratulations to Jason, to AJ, Nick Fargo, everybody here on the chat, Sonic. Congratulations to you all on the very well-deserved Central Championship title.
So 1st and 10 coming up, only 1:31 left to go before we break out the t-shirts and hats. Handoff from Beeman up the middle of the field out to the 39-yard line. Chicago's going to do their due diligence and call their second timeout.
Yeah, Freddie Fox taking now the reps from Robert Redford, who had a tremendous ball game today. And, you know, he gets well-deserved, you know, rest. And, you know, let the backup take those reps.
Steeman Willie Beeman under center. Not taking his time at all. He wants to get in some reps as Fox juggles the ball and it falls incomplete. And he's saying, it was right there. Why couldn't I catch it? This is why I ride the bench.
You know, Willie Beeman saying, come on, man. You know,
you know it.
I'm auditioning for some more teams. Come on. You're killing my percentage.
So that results in a 3rd and 5 coming up. 1:24. More importantly, it stops the clock. See what Beeman and company wants to do here. He's going to pass, taking his time, and he's going to get sacked as Chicago burns their final timeout with 1:20 left to go. Sioux Falls is going to punt once again. You
know, this Chicago defense does not quit. I mean, they You know, obviously it's a 20-point deficit. They are not coming back, but no, they don't quit. You know, to the last minute of the season, they play hard.
And I know it might have sounded like I was ragging on them. I definitely wasn't. Because, I mean, there is a ton of star power on this team. There always has been.
Yeah. Yes.
And you can't shake a stick at what they've got on defense, on offense. I mean, just, again, we're talking about it. It just happens to be an off year for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, let's remember, they are still the reigning Eastern Conference champions. So,
absolutely.
You know, you don't get to the championship game with great talent on QB, with great talent on running backs, with great talent on receivers, with great talent on defense, and with a great head coach. You know, Shane Warner is one of the best head coaches in the league. You know, he has won head coach of the year in his time with Carolina. So, well, not head coach, but coach of the year with Carolina. So, you know, and again, you know, this is something that happens to every team. It happened with the Baltimore Crabs, happened with the Gorillas, happened with the Swarm this year, has happened to the Tallahassee Pride. You know, it happens with every single team in the SFL at some point. So, you know, there's always next season, and I'm pretty sure next season Chicago will be firing back. It even happened with the Sioux Falls Sparrows last season. They were unable to make the playoffs.
An immense amount of parity in this league, which makes this so much fun to watch. Sioux Falls gets another sack on E.T. King with the clock rolling under 1 minute. King gonna throw over to the left. He's got Gilbert, and they're gonna call that incomplete. I thought he might have gotten his foot in bounds in order to complete the catch, but they're gonna call it incomplete nonetheless. 4th and 14 upcoming. They got to go for it.
Yeah. And surprised that, you know, there's no booth review on this. So, you know, obviously coaches cannot challenge in, you know, the 2-minute warning, but, you know, surprised there's no challenge.
Ooh, and a big sack. Once again coming for Sioux Falls. And they're going to take over at the 16-yard line. 49 seconds left to go, and Chicago has no way to stop the clock. That's going to pretty much do it here from Liberty Park.
You know, and again, you know, basically that sums up how this defensive line has played all game. Mike Doss is like the fourth non-star defensive lineman I've mentioned today. You know, Tyron Black, great job. You know, Johnny Summers, Marcellus Morton, and now Mike Doss. Like every single defensive lineman for the Sioux Falls Sparrows getting a sack.
As Willie Beeman's going to take a knee here. And they'll have one more play before we get on out of here. Want to congratulate the Tallahassee Pride, as DeAndre Noel had mentioned here in the chat, finishing the season undefeated, beating Carolina by a score of 23-10. They're going to be another team to watch out for in the playoffs.
Yeah, actually the fourth team in SFL history. You know, Louisville did 12-0 season 7. The Baltimore Crabs 8-0 season 3. Minneapolis Maulers 8-0 season 4, and now in season 10, the Tallahassee Pride 12-0. Congratulations to the Pride.
And this is why I have him along, the walking, talking stat machine, Mr. Ramos Lynn. As Sioux Falls takes their final knee, and we have brought to a close the final regular season game of season 10 of the SFL. A 30-10 victory for Sioux Falls as they wrap up the Central Division. And they jump to the number 3 slot in the upcoming playoffs. You got any final thoughts before we send the people home, Ramos?
Sioux Falls is one scary team coming into the playoffs. It seems that they can do it all. Great running attack. They have a great QB. They have a great passing offense. The linebackers are off the charts. The secondary is amazing. And we saw the non-star defensive lineman getting like 5 sacks today. You know, Black with 2 sacks. We saw, I think it was Mike Doss, I think, with a sack and a half. I mean, this is one of the most complete teams in the SFL. They have one of the best quarterbacks here down the stretch in the SFL. So I'm sure nobody wants to play the Sparrows here in the playoffs.
Can't forget about A.J. Warren ripping off that lovely kick return in the second half. And we're getting some good looks at all of these plays that Sioux Falls were able to make. And again, hats off to Chicago for coming out and putting on a good ball game here.
And that kickoff return for a touchdown really killed the momentum from the Wildcats, because the game was 17-3. Chicago gets a touchdown, puts the game 17-10. And, you know, it's like, okay, Chicago has a little bit of offense right now. And then the kickoff return touchdown puts the game 24-10. And that just killed the Chicago Wildcats.
Stats for this game have been posted to the website, so be sure to check that out, simulationfl.net. Want to thank all of you guys for coming out today. Had all sorts of fun, guys, in the chat, some smack talk. It was good to see you guys all here. Everybody get geared up for Wildcard Wednesday coming up, scheduled to be coming out soon. For all of the production crew and Ramos Lynn here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, my name is Eric Vinson. Thank you for watching, and good night, everybody.